School is starting. Fall sports playing, yes. Fall sports playing, no. What you can do either way.
Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of a D1 athlete and a high school athlete pursuing a scholarship. With a wealth of experience to share, here's Recruit Me CEO Brent Hanks.
With all the different circumstances happening in schools today, your school may or may not be playing fall sports. If you are practicing and playing games, please enjoy and appreciate your opportunity. If you are not able to play and practice, then take advantage of your time. Let's dig into ways to make the most out of that situation. Let's jumpstart your recruiting journey. Let's look at 3 areas that you can work on during this fall season. I'm going to break these 3 items into not playing and playing. So I'll give you some information on what you can do if your school is not playing and give you some information if you are getting to play. So the first thing is to really work on contacting coaches and contacting schools. If you're not playing your fall sports, you should have some extra time to complete and adjust your college list. So in the past, Recruit Me, we suggest that you have a list of colleges, 20 to 50 schools that you want to send your information to. So this is a great time to go back over that list, do some adjustment. Maybe you've done some research and you want to take some colleges off, add some colleges. Maybe you've changed your mind on how far you want to go or how big a school you want to go to. So here's a great time to adjust that college list or just complete it. Also take some time to do some extra research on the colleges. So you can research the college itself, research the town that it's in, research the housing that's around it, whether you might be living in a dorm for 1 or 2 years. There's a lot of different things that you can research on the colleges. Do some research on the coaches, get to know them a little bit more, maybe see if there's been any changes over the last year. Maybe a pitching coach has changed or maybe a defensive coach has changed. So you can do some adjustment on some research on some coaches. Also research the rosters. Check and see whether they do a lot of junior college transfers at that school, whether there's some student athletes that are going to be graduating that would open up spots for you as you come in as a freshman. Do some research on their academics. Spend a little bit more time and see if there's an area of interest that you might want to look more into and maybe even ask some questions down the road. Here's an opportunity to check the cost and maybe even do more research on the cost. See what scholarships are available non-athletically that might possibly help you through get into that college. Also, here's a chance, if you have some extra time, if you're not playing, to write or update your emails. So if you haven't done an introductory email, if you're not familiar with an introductory email, go back and listen to some podcasts. But here's a chance for you to write an introductory email or even update some of your emails and be prepared to give coaches updates as you do things academically, maybe an update on what you did this summer, maybe an update on your speed that you can run the 60-yard dash or swim a certain race. You also have an opportunity to update your player profile and questionnaire. So maybe some things through the summer, maybe your height and weight have changed. Maybe, again, your times, your test scores. You just have more accomplishments that you did over the summer, and here's a chance for you to update your player profile. The questionnaire, Recruit Me, we suggest you fill out a questionnaire or make up a questionnaire that you can send with your emails, and that reduces the time that you might have to spend filling out every questionnaire for every college. Most colleges on their website have a recruiting questionnaire. We suggest that you have one filled out that you can send straight to them. Then if a college asks you to fill out the questionnaire, you've kind of got it pre-filled out so that you don't have to think about the questions that much, and it may reduce the times that you have to fill out questionnaires on their website. So here's a good chance to work on those things. Also, sit down with a calendar, make a schedule on when you want to email colleges, what colleges you want to email, and keep track of your emails. Also, you want to make a calendar on calling coaches. It gives you an opportunity to think about what questions that you might want to ask coaches. You can practice a little bit because sometimes calling a coach can be intimidating. And just remember, a coach may or may not be able to call you back depending on what the rules are for the NCAA or NAIA at that particular time. So those are things that you can do in contacting coaches in schools if you're not playing a fall sport, just because you have some extra time. If you are playing a fall sport, you can still continue to contact coaches in schools. You can send coaches your playing schedule with your high school coach's contact information. Make sure and tell your high school coach or coaches that you are sending out their information, so if they get a call from that school, they'll know what's going on. And it's just always good to communicate with your high school coaches and keep them in touch, and they may have some resources that you can use. Email college coaches your updates after games or groups of games. So, you don't have to send them every game. If you're playing volleyball, for example, and you're playing a lot of matches throughout the week, you're maybe playing in a tournament, just kind of group those together. But give a coach an update on how you did and how your team did and how excited you are to get to play. Because you're playing games, you might have some videos that you can send out, so have some videos ready. You can ask your high school coach 4 copies of the videos, and some high schools and some sports have videos that you can use, some do not. And if you're playing, play with passion. Again, you're lucky to be playing. There may be a bunch of other people in your area that aren't getting to play or a couple hundred miles away, so play with passion and consider yourself lucky. One of the other subjects that we can talk about is video. So if you are not playing, you might not be able to get game or match video. So one suggestion is to set up a sports-specific video skills day. And that is a day where you can get together and video and make your own tape, sports-specific and sports skills. So again, pitching, you might be able to do that, hitting, soccer, your ball handling and your footwork. If you're a goaltender, I'm sure there's things that you can do there to show your athleticism. Football, strength and speed would be some different things that you could do specifically. If you're a quarterback, you can throw the football. Running backs, you can show your speed and your strength. So there's all sorts of things that in each sport that you can do, and set up a video day. What you might do on that is ask to use your school facilities, and if you can't use that because of the COVID situation, don't let that stop you. Still look for maybe an outdoor court, a field, a pool if you're a swimmer or a diver, so you can still do your sport-specific skills. Have friends, have teammates, have relatives do the videoing and help set up multiple angles that you can do. You can do multiple players. Maybe within an hour you can set it up, and you can have 3 or 4 of your teammates go through the process and do those sport specific and skill videos. So those are some things that you can do if you are not playing because you have some extra time. On video, if you are playing, you can again ask your high school coach for game film that's taken by the school. A lot of times they have good production on that, and might even already have it where they have your highlights already put together, and so you wouldn't have to do a lot of editing on that stuff. If your sport or team doesn't have game film, ask a parent or a relative or a friend, an injured teammate, to take video of the game, and try to get series of plays that you might play in, whether it's again volleyball, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, golf, softball, a lot of the fall sports. You don't have to video the whole game, but you want to video a whole series of times that you play, and then later we might go back and cut in for some of the specific items that you might see in a video. And then on both of them, this is a good time that you can learn how to edit video on your phone or on your computer. So find a program or an app, if you don't already have one, to help you edit video. Most of you probably know how to do that, student athletes. Make a long video, and then you can break that down into shorter videos, because a lot of times Having a long video with all of the series that you play is good to send to a coach, but they may want to see something specific. Again, your ball handling in soccer, your defensive skills in soccer, so you might want to have 2 or 3 minute clips and highlights of that on your videos. The third item, whether you're playing or not playing, and I'm going to group this together, is academics. Take some extra time and make an extra effort in the classroom. Just concentrate more. Our academics is going to be a big deal in trying to get into athletics in a college. Again, most colleges and most sports don't give full ride scholarships. There are very few sports that give full ride scholarships, so your academics can be a possible way that you're going to pay for a lot of your school. Make sure and sit down and meet with your counselor to verify that you're on track to go to college, and just double check your classes against the different divisions in college. So meet with your counselor. Revisit your ACT and SAT scores. If you haven't taken the test, work on prepping for the ACT and SAT. If you have taken the test, this might be a good opportunity for you to take it again and improve your scores. I'm telling both of my boys to embrace the online classes, because down the road, if you think about it, here in a couple years, there may be more online classes than what there was a couple years ago. And so the better you are on those online classes, the better you might get through your college. Also, work careers are going to be maybe more online than what they were a couple years ago. So this may be a good time to embrace online classes and get used to that on the discipline of what it takes to do online type of classes and online work. So those are 3 things that you can work on, whether you're playing fall sports or not playing fall sports. You can take that extra time and that opportunity that you are playing and work on those things now that you're back in school. In closing, whether you're playing a fall sport or not, use September, October, and November to contact coaches and do research on colleges and work on your skills and strengths. Some college coaches may have time to engage or actually watch you play in person or communicate more by email or by phone this fall. Go to ncaa.org, naia.org, or njcaa.org, or ncsasports.org and check out the recruiting rules. That'll also give you an opportunity to look at recruiting calendars to see when coaches can contact you through this season. Remember, the high school student athlete can always contact a coach, but a coach may or may not be able to respond back due to NCAA, NAIA, or JUCO rules and regulations. Remember, Recruit Me families can get a hold of me at brent@recruit-me.com. I would love to hear from anybody that's listening with questions and comments about the podcast and about recruiting. If you haven't signed up to receive the free Recruiting Power Pack on the homepage of recruit-me.com, you're missing some great free information that will help you through the school season. Go to recruit-me.com. Also, for a complete supercharged, inexpensive step-by-step guide to get an athletic scholarship, you can purchase the Recruit Me 3.0 recruiting system for a special price of only $99. Click the link on the recruit-me.com website. Listen next Tuesday for another information-packed 15 minutes.